Okay, so this is the last and final installment on our little mini series classes about iron and copper and ferritin and anemia and how to deal all that. So if you haven't watched the last two videos, I strongly suggest going back because there's a lot of information on there on how we got to this point now in time. Okay, so we've already learned that chances are you have plenty of iron in your body. You have plenty of copper in your body. Stop taking copper and stop taking iron. The issues is not that you do not have enough. The issues are that they are not moving within the body. So they are stagnant and they are tucked away in different parts of the body and they are not moving for you. And when they are not moving, that is a serious problem. You can get brain fog, you can get anemia, you can get kidney issues. Your eGFR is going to plummet. It's going to start going down because you do not have all these things that the kidneys need and want, that the liver needs and wants in order to transform these things. Okay, so basically what we're doing is we're giving the body yarn so that the body can make a sweater. Okay, so we are giving it the materials that it needs to create what it needs to create. So instead, what is happening is we're giving the body vitamin A, which you should never do. We're giving the body vitamin D3, K2, calcium, all these things. And the body's like, this is not what I need. I need the yarn. Okay. Because yeah, it's nice that I have all these other things, but you keep giving me sweaters. I want to make my own. Okay. So the body has to make its own production of it. So we're looking at blood transfusions and we're looking at all this blood, all this iron, more iron, give the person more iron, and iron does not get you iron. Copper does not get you copper. And during COVID, one of the worst things that we could have done was started to up the zinc and the zinc and the zinc. And, we really kind of pushed our copper even further into those rooms and locked it even further away. If you've never been here before, my name is Marie. I am a naturopath. I am a massage therapist. I'm laughing because I'm almost done with the video and I'm doing the introduction now. Okay. And I'm also a detoxification specialist and a slew of other stuff. I've written books, everything else. You can find me anywhere out there on Google, actually. And if you're ever interested in any of my creations or my products, we usually make them here on site, and they are available at aplacetoheal.store. Okay, so once we've gone through the other two videos, and now we've reached this video. Okay, so you've gone and you got the copper protocol. A lot of people got the copper protocol, and you guys are on it. You've reached out to me. Hey, I'm on day 3. Hey, I'm on day 4. This and this is happening. They're already experiencing some stuff. So once you are on the protocol, I have been on the protocol myself for 9 months. Okay. If you have blotchy skin, anything like that, it's going to take care of that. Okay. But what happens now when this stuff, you open the doors and you let this iron back into your body? Because as I told you in my last video, I started showering and I noticed the stains on my, on my towels. And I was like, where is this coming? It was from the iron from my body. It was finally moving, right? And as this iron is moving, I could sit there and I can really smell it in my pores. I could smell it in my pores. I could see it on the towels. You could even smell it in your feces. You can smell the copper. You can smell the iron as it starts really rolling within the body. and your anemia starts to go away and everything else. But then you have people who have very high ferritin levels. Okay. And now we're going to have all this iron, and it's like, what do I do with all this? Because this iron is going to start transporting. You got estrogen, because as I told you, this iron, once you start the protocol and this iron builds up in your ovaries, okay, it's going to send you into menopause. But now we're getting all this rolling, all this old nasty estrogen, all this iron that's been sitting in these rooms, sitting in our organs for a very long time. And what do we do with this? Okay, so this is probably not going to be a short video, I can already tell you. So what you have to do, if you are able to do it, because I have a lot of people that reach out to me and it's like, Marie, I can't, for whatever reason. I travel the world a lot, so I can't, or, I have AIDS, or, some other, or I take some medications where I am not able to, whatever. But if you can, okay, this is for the people that can. For the people that can't, I don't know. I really don't know, and that's being honest, because as human beings, this copper and this iron should have been moving all along. We should have never gotten to this point where we have not been told this. We have not been told to move our copper and our iron. And now we have come up against an issue. So what I tell my groups to do is go donate blood. I donate blood 4 times a year. I do it in January, I think July, August. And so I do it every 4 months. I donate blood every 4 months. There's a lot of people out there that have come to me and they're like, oh, I don't know. A bunch of reasons, which I can't even, man, this video would be 3 hours long. But, people are like, oh, I've heard conspiracy theories about, okay. This is when you're getting into plasma and you're getting into, you donate the blood and then they put your blood back and don't do that. You're just there to donate blood. Okay. And you're doing it for a couple of reasons. Number one, if you have very high ferritin levels, it will lower your ferritin. Okay. But you need to get on the protocol and keep everything rolling so that those ferritin levels will stay down. You want to get that old estrogen out of there. You want to get that old iron out of there. You want to get that old copper out of there. You want everything to be well again. Okay. And the only way that I have found to do that is to actually donate blood. These places that you go to donate, they are not like hospitals. I know people are like, oh, I'm afraid of IVs, and these people don't know what they're doing, and half the time they can't catch a vein. No, that is not the case when you go to donate blood. I've never ran into nothing but the best of the best phlebotomists. I mean, you have the nice lounge chair. I go in there with my water. You want to make sure that you always eat some protein before going in there. You do not want to consume fat before donating blood, because then, the vial, it ends up with more fat than actual blood. And you want that to be a good sample for them. And you want them to be a good bag, because in the end, what you're doing is you're saving a life. Okay. You're not just saving your life and healing yourself, but in giving that blood, you're also healing someone else and you're saving a life. With the people that I donate with, I will get an email the minute my blood is used. So I instantly get an email telling me, hey, your blood has been sent to so-and-so hospital. You're saving a life today, and it's great. I have what's called universal blood. So if you have universal blood, that's one of the best things that you can do for you. Not just for you, but for anyone else, because they can use it for anyone. Okay. If you are unvaccinated, there is a huge demand for unvaccinated blood, because I don't even have to go into that. it refreshes their blood. I mean, you're replacing, lowering their particles, and you're, putting it in with nice blood. If you are a person who does not take any sort of medications, okay, that's another checkbox that's like, so I don't take any prescription medications. I am universal blood, of course, and I wouldn't be any less. And number three, I never got vaccinated, so I check all the boxes. Okay, so there, of course, they're always, please come in every 3 months, and I'm like, nope, I'm doing my 4 because this is also for me. Now, one of the things about blood donations, it's extremely easy. I mean, you don't even have to go in there. You just fill out the stuff online. I had never seen anybody. I never talked to anyone. I went online to their website. I filled out their little questionnaire. They're going to ask you a few private things, if you're practicing unsafe sex, of course, if you're going out of the country a lot, there's a chance that you might bring something back, stuff like that. What medications are you on? Of course, if you're out of control diabetes, it's not a good idea, okay, to donate. But it's very simple. I usually go to the buses. I usually don't go to the centers. I go to the buses because the buses is the closest near me, and I have to drive myself home. So, I just show up at the bus. They prick your finger. They take a little bit of blood. They make sure that your blood levels are okay. And if they are okay, you can go ahead and donate. If not, they will send you home. It's that simple. Okay, so everything is pretty simplistic. They take it. It's a good idea to take some sort of a protein bar, even if you don't like protein bars, or something like that. So I will normally eat like some chicken. I'll eat a chicken breast. That's it before I go in. Usually an hour to 2 hours before you donate. Okay. And then I will take my water bottle, and then I will take my protein bar. And I normally will never eat a protein bar unless I'm giving. That's it, because I just want something that's going to satiate me, and that's going to, up my protein and everything right afterwards. If you can think of anything else, that's great too. I mean, you could take it with you, any kind of snacks. And then when you're done, it takes about 15 minutes, believe it or not, to donate a pint of blood. Takes 15 minutes, and they let you sit around as long as you like till you feel better and you have your bearings, and you are free to go. And that's it. And we'll see you again in 4 months. The people are wonderful. They're very kind. I've never had an issue at all with them missing a vein or, leaving bruising or nothing. No. And they even asked me, which arm do you want to take? Of course, I'm very vascular, so I don't have any issues with that whatsoever. But, even my grandkids, my oldest granddaughter, she's driven me, and she will drive me because I want them to know that this is something that is okay to do, because a lot of people just don't do it. But it's a great way to bring down your ferritin levels. And a lot of people say it's a Band-Aid. It is a Band-Aid temporarily till you can do the protocol. Okay, and as you do the protocol, your ferritin levels become normal. Your anemia levels become normal. Now, if you are anemic, my suggestion to you is do not donate until you have done the protocol for at least 6 months. Once you have done the protocol for at least 6 months, then and only then should you go in, okay, and get rid of it. And you'll start to know it, because you're going to start smelling that iron, and you're going to start seeing it in your towels, and you're going to start realizing, okay, it's time to dump this stuff. And you're not dumping because it's bad. That is rich. That iron's been sitting a while. That is some rich iron. So you're giving somebody, a beautiful second chance at life. So to me, it's a win-win situation. Now, again, before I end this series, please, because I have people saying, I'm just going to go get some copper. No, you cannot just go get any copper out there and start taking copper. Okay, that is not going to work. Or I'm just going to go get iron. You cannot just get iron. Okay, giving, like I said, giving iron or giving copper to your liver is not what the liver wants. Okay, the liver wants the raw materials in order to make the stuff. Okay, so I have a lot of people that have gotten on the protocol, and the first question is, hey, can I still take my D3 and my K2? Hey, can I still take this? Hey, can I? No, no, and no. You cannot, because your liver is changing all those, converting all these things. It's taking the raw materials and it is busy converting them. Okay. You don't want to confuse them by sitting there going, oh, here's another sweater. You know, it's like, wait a minute. I'm trying to work on making this one. Well, but wait, here's another sweater. It's not. Okay. So vitamin D3 and K2 it's just a Band-Aid. Okay. Because here's the thing. If you were to take away the D3 and the K2, eventually your vitamin D levels would drop because the body does not have what it needs. So if you give it, like I said, I'll put the stuff underneath this video. If you give it the cod liver oil, if you give it the beef livers, if you give it the real vitamin C that it needs, if you sit here and say, here you go, here's your raw materials, that liver is it's gonna stand up and it's gonna kiss you. It's gonna go, thank you. You know how long I have been waiting for these raw materials so that I can sit there and bless you with good eyesight and, get rid of your PCOS and get rid of your brain fog and get rid of your sinus issues. It's been waiting a long time for that. Okay. So that is basically my end video. So when you get to that point, I want you to remember two things. Number one, okay, feed it the stuff. Well, a few things, three. Number one, feed your liver the raw materials. It knows the raw materials. It knows D3, K2, all this stuff. This is all synthetic. Okay, the liver wants the raw stuff, right? It knows that stuff. Okay, number two is please do not go out there and just start shoving, iron and copper into your system. It is not going to work. That is another Band-Aid. Doctors can sit there and give you all the blood transfusions you want. They can give you all the iron they want. They can give it to you, but eventually your numbers are going to plummet all over again. They're not going to stay up because they're not raw materials. They're not the raw materials. And number three, once you get to the point where you're in the protocol where you have that energy, where you can smell the copper, where you can smell the iron, or your ferritin levels get to be too high, your iron levels get to be too high, consider donating. Like I said, it's so easy. You just go online. Just fill everything. I filled everything online. And I have a bunch of people in my group. I love the ladies. Man, they're like, if you jump, I'm jumping too. So I really appreciate you guys. If you're watching, you have no idea the trust that they have in me. And last but not least, I want to inform you that if you happen to get sick after you donate, that is perfectly normal, absolutely normal. They'll sit there and I've had people are like, no, I donated and oh my God, I was so sick afterwards. I was so nauseated, but okay, your liver is toxic. All right. That is the number one way, liver toxic. Okay. So each time that you give, you're going to get little less sicker. You got a bunch of fresh blood flowing through that liver. Those parasites are not liking that. And you got a bunch of, new blood cells and all sorts of wonderful new stuff getting on there, and stem cells coming into play. And yes, it's going to throw off your body a little bit. So don't look at it as a bad thing. It's actually a very good thing. Okay. And you can actually go on my TikToks, and I documented when I got to the bus and after the bus, and and I documented the whole blood donation thing. I'm telling you, next month for my birthday, I'm on the bus. That's what I do every 4 months. All right, so hopefully I will see you on one of those buses, because you can't do anything better for yourself and for the community. All right, stay happy. I know my ideas are crazy, but I promise you they're going to keep you healthy and at peak optimal performance. See you next week.